The story of how the Beatles Cartoon show came to be begins in the newspaper. Odds are, if you've ever read a comic strip, it belongs to the company known as King Features, a division of the Hearst Company. King is known for their comics, puzzles, and cartoons. The animated division of King began in 1960 under the direction of animator Al Brodax. Brodax had just come off working for Paramount for their animation department. The story goes that after seeing the band perform on The Ed Sullivan Show, he approached the group with an idea for an animated series. This series would later be picked up by ABC. While the Beatles wouldn't be the first celebrities ever animated, they would be the first ever to have their own animated series. The episodes were produced in 3 studios: TVC Animation in London, Artanza Park Studios in Australia, and a studio in Hollywood. Some of the teams were even supervised by John Dunn, an Oscar-nominated animator who had previously worked at Disney. Also working on the series was George Dunning, who would later team up with Al Brodax for the 1968 film Yellow Submarine. The Beatles themselves had really nothing to do with the series outside of the use of their music. Their depictions in the series were based heavily on their first feature film, A Hard Day's Night, both in look and characterizations. The voices of the band were provided by only 2 actors, Paul Frees as John and George, and Lance Percival as Ringo and Paul. Paul Frees is well known for his Disney roles, including the ghost host in the Haunted Mansion attraction. Lance Percival is probably best known for another Beatles-related role, Old Fred in Yellow Submarine. The episodes had a simple format, with 2 stories each being based around a song. They also included sing-along segments. The group found themselves in tons of crazy cartoon situations across the 3 seasons and 39 episodes. The series ran from 1965 to 1967 and was a ratings smash. And while the show was a hit with audiences, the group themselves initially didn't care much for it. So much so that when they found out the same team would be creating their animated feature film Yellow Submarine, they decided not to provide the voice work for it. It was only after they saw the film and were so impressed by the animation and storytelling that they decided to film their cameo that was featured at the end of the film. Over time, all of the Beatles warmed up to the show, with John Lennon even saying he still got a blast out of watching it. In the 1980s, the show went into syndication on cable, with channels like MTV and Disney airing it. While the show may have since disappeared from airwaves, that hasn't stopped collectors and fans from keeping it alive through tape sharing and the internet. The design of the show is featured on countless pieces of merchandise, ranging from t-shirts to action figures. Most people who got to see the show share the same memories as the band. Silly, but harmless fun. So where is the show now? In the 1990s, the rights were bought back by the Apple Corporation, and it has since been sitting in their vaults. While it may not be the most sought-after piece of Beatle media, fans have eagerly awaited a DVD or Blu-ray release, and hopefully one day, they'll get it. And then maybe we can all relax and escape from this hectic world for a bit and watch some cartoons with our favorite Fab Four.